What is going on, everybody? Depraved Slash here, and we are back with another music reaction. I'm Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are
Hella Depraved.
So 6 seconds, Shizzy dropped a new EP.
The refrigerator rapper.
The refrigerator rapper. EP's called Never Knows Best.
Never knows best. Okay, all
Never
right.
Knows Best. He'd mentioned he actually dropped it on his birthday, which again, happy late birthday.
Happy birthday. Belated.
And so he dropped the album, and then had tweeted about it, and I shared it, wished him a happy birthday on Twitter. It was like, part of me wants to react to it, part of me just wants to go listen.
Right.
And
okay,
he was like,
I did see that tweet, yeah.
And then he responded in a private message, was like, nah, motherfucker, you're reacting. And I was like, all right, I guess we're reacting.
That's what that message was about.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously I saw that he had sent that message to you, but I was like, what is this in relation to? Like,
right.
Got it. Sorry, guys, I was tired. I still am. But I'm excited. Does that make him a Sagittarius too?
Yes. I'm telling y'all, us Sagittarius are built different. My birthday's in a couple days.
Quite literally.
The 15th. So.
I was talking about the built differently part, guys, in case you didn't catch like all the tie-ins there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now might as well react to it in order of track list, and actually,
okay, all
the
right.
first track has a video.
Yeah.
Now, just to give you guys some quick backstory of what I know of Etika.
Okay.
Again, so Etika was a YouTuber.
Okay.
Who had, honestly, throughout most of his videos, when you watch them, seemed to be pretty happy, outgoing. The first video I ever saw of his, because again, I didn't get into YouTubing till a little later. And plus, most of the gaming, because to my understanding, he was a gaming YouTuber.
Okay.
But most of the gaming people I watched were like Vanoss Crew. So I watched a lot of Jiggly, Big Jiggly Panda.
That's a great name. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately.
I'm not a gamer, guys, so I only know the ones that he has shown me videos of, and yeah.
Vanoss, Grillafant, a lot of people.
That's
people you don't
great
know.
Names.
Oh, Grillafant's fun as hell to watch if you watch him live on Twitch. He's fucking hilarious.
That's a kind of chimera right there.
Jacksepticeye, which many people have seen me wear Jacksepticeye merch. He was the first YouTuber I ever bought merch from.
I am aware.
So, going back to Etika, he was the first video I ever watched of his. Actually, was I was going through and watching people's reactions to the first announcement of Smash Ultimate.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it was Smash Ultimate, where he got so excited he ended up like smashing a bookshelf and hurt his hand.
Oh. I mean, okay. All right.
But
seems kind of apropos for the name of the game, and then yeah.
Right. So some short time after that, tragically, he actually committed suicide.
Okay. So he was one of the happiest faces, hiding deepest pain type people.
And also, to my understanding, Six was actually really good friends with Etika. So I don't know what kind of song we're going to get here.
Right.
It could be one of several things. It could be completely just a tribute song.
Right.
It could be Six bearing his
feelings
about it. It could be very easily like angry but missing him type of song. So we don't know.
Go into suicide help.
Right.
Or yeah, there's any number of things that you like. You could get all of them.
True.
Because again, if you're going through the gamut of emotions, you could get all of them.
True.
All right. Okay.
So I mean
I'm grateful for the backstory because I didn't even know what Etika meant, person, thing. I didn't know. So okay.
Right. So I am definitely interested to see where Six goes with this.
Okay. And you said this is the first song off of?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm even more curious where this goes because that's interesting, knowing the backstory that this is the first song on an album. Cool.
Because I'm pretty sure it was the first. So at least when I overlooked the track listing, I'm pretty sure this was number one.
All right.
So, I mean, regardless, we probably would have covered it first because I think it's the only one that has a video for it.
Video. Okay. All right. But still.
And the rest of the album will be coming out over the next few days. Again, I have actually been ramped up on hours at work. It's December. 10-hour days.
Which means it's a quarterly busy month.
Right. 10-hour days, some Saturdays. So.
Right.
Luckily, today's a Saturday that we're recording this, even though I think I'm going to end up dropping this on Monday.
Okay. All right.
So.
We will try to get this done as quickly as we can, within reason, guys.
Right. So, with that being said, we are going to react to this if you guys have already seen it. If you have not seen it, please click the link in the description below. Hop on over, watch the video, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment, let Six know we sent you. Come on back, and we say that because we are a breakdown channel, we're a reaction channel, we talk about things. We'll talk about how the song reflects to us, the things that Six is talking about, bars.
Catch the bars.
We pause a lot, basically.
And there's a music video, so that adds a whole nother element.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to slash it up and break it down. This is 6 Seconds with Etika. Let's get it.
Yay.
Still love his intro.
The gold.
The gold.
It is.
I remember thinking Etika was right, all alone in my zone in the dead of night, pondering on the things he was thinking and why he ain't feel this life with a sharp pain in my chest like it's being pierced with a knife. Like, was he sick or did he understand? Did he break from keeping everything bottled up as a man? I know I did and I hated it, walking around as a pessimist, yet feeling like we closer cause I'm sharing in his sentiment.
Ooh. And guys, the reason I dipped my head at the very beginning is, for those of you that don't know, I get extremely motion sick, and it was rotating at the beginning, so it had nothing to do with anything other than the motion.
So it's a comparison type of thing right now.
Well, it's an understanding. Like, he's reminiscing and recollecting how he thought maybe he had it right. Etika had it right, and like thinking about why his friend would have done this. Like, was it that he saw the truth, and or, you know, because I hated myself when I was hiding everything away. Like, and that happens for a lot of people when you bury your trauma. You're not able to deal with it, and I'm not saying like. Because some people, he said, you know, burying it as a man. He's not able to express it as a man. Right. So sometimes you bury it because you don't want to deal with it, in which case you got to. Sometimes you're burying it because you're told you're not supposed to express it for one reason or another.
Right. And
sometimes you bury it because you don't want to burden other people. But one way or another, it's got to come out. So whether that is destroying you from the inside out, or you write poetry, or you go to a therapist, or, you know, it's got to come out somehow. But it does make you kind of pessimistic.
Definitely. Again, shortly after my divorce with my ex-wife, I think I was probably in the darkest place I've ever been in my life for about 6 years.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if it wasn't for those two smiley faces out there,
right,
fuck, I might not even be here.
Right.
Like, it's depression's a motherfucker.
Well, it's really hard to pull yourself out of, and I don't mean like completely out of, because anyone who suffered depression knows that you never kind of let go of the ghost of it. But if it's not something that you can deal with, it eats at you for that entire period of time until you've sort of processed it. And again, that processing time is very dependable on how you're able to let it go, like expressing it, getting it out, purging it, basically.
And that is one of the hardest things too. Adding on to that, like talking with people, you want to tell people what you're feeling, what you're going through, but at the same time, there's a part of you, a bigger part of you, more times than not, or at least for most of us, that you're like, but you don't want to be the downer of the group. You don't want to burden other people with your problems, so you tend to lock it all aside and try and process it yourselves.
Right.
And there's so many times, honestly, that's probably one of the worst things you can do.
Right. Oh yeah, because you also aren't given any sort of, well, a outside perspective, empathy, or like not even a broader picture. I'm thinking more like a basis for comparison.
Right.
And it just grows and becomes just this giant fable in your mind, like unsurmountable. I think for me, and I agree with what you just said in terms of being a burden, but I think part of the thing that I've always had a problem with is, it starts off with, I'm so devastated, I don't even know how to express what I'm feeling right now. And if I don't know what I'm feeling, how are they supposed to? Right. And then second of all, like, obviously health issues is a big part of my depression. But I already get people who are like, oh, you have health issues, and then everything from there on out is, no, you must be over dramatizing that, or how could you're too young. I've heard that since I was 13, and it's like, well, I feel the same way. However,
right.
But so then it's kind of like you're looked at the boy who cried wolf, and then it's like, well, I don't want to be seen as the person that's always whiny either. Even if you're not whining, you're venting, or you're truly coming to someone for help. You it's a perspective that you see in your mind that maybe people have shown you that that's what they see as well. But it makes it very hard, right. Very hard to discuss it.
I hated it, walking around as a pessimist, yet feeling like we closer, cause I'm sharing in his sentiment, thinking I'ma see him and we'll get to have a talk, saying bye to my surroundings every time I took a walk, cause I ain't wanna be here. I take a sec to be clear, I've been done, you can't look me in my eyes and see fear, there wasn't none to see here, not a reason to function. I said I want to die, that was end of discussion, couldn't no one change my mind with a word from their mouth, bro.
I still have days where I relate to that.
Right.
Mine's, again, at least for me, I don't think I could, at this point in my life, I mean, especially, having you here, I'm definitely a much happier person.
Right.
But even during those 6 years, even though I had them, and they always brought me back to, right. This is what's worth living for, I would still have days where I'd be like, I would never take my own life,
right?
But I would be 100% cool with, like, freak accident,
right? With just dying in general,
right?
I would say at this point, I am no longer to the point that I have days, like a full day, that I feel that way. But I certainly have periods in some of my days, especially when I'm at a high point with pain, that I'm like, dying would be good. Dying would be good right now. Like, right. How much longer am I supposed to do this, especially without any kind of pain management that works for me? I also think it's interesting that he stated that, they were closer because they were able to share the same sentiment. Like, that is not necessarily healthy, but it's not unhealthy either. It just depends on how you meet someone, and this is no comment on their situation because I don't know. But I know that a couple of the people that I am closest to, my best friends, we all had very similar traumatic things happen, or health, because one of my best friends also has fibro. But that kind of combination with our good times personality stuff that we developed amongst ourselves has really created a much deeper bond. And we're able to talk about any of that stuff because, again, we've all been sort of through similar stuff. However, you get people who meet, like, that's why they tell you don't ever date someone if you're meeting them at, like, AA. You know, because that's the kind of trauma bond that you should not share. Right. I mean, it's okay if you become friends with them later on, or being friends is fine, but, like, not actually dating them, because then you're both trying to avoid triggers at the same time, that kind of thing. But this whole, like, he became oblivious every time he went out and walked, you know, kind of getting lost in his anger and his thoughts and dwelling, and, like, been there, done that plenty of times.
Right.
So
I want to die, that was end of discussion. Couldn't no one change my mind with a word from their mouth, bro. I was set, there wasn't shit clicking like the mouse broke. How'd I get to a sunken place for my laughter? Why do I feel slow to...
I like that bar.
yeah, like the mouse broke.
I wasn't clicking like the mouse broke. Bar.
Like the mouse broke. How'd I get to a sunken place for my laughter? Why do I feel slowed as the world is proceeding faster? Why is my heart shattered from happily ever after? Was constantly on the search, knowing that I won't get the answers. Waiting to be ash in the wind, hoping in another life that we'll be laughing again. Swearing that this isn't something I regret, man. Crazy when relating to your friend is relative to a dead man. In a constant kumite with my emotions, gauging my self-love on irrelevant parties' notions. Thoughts of my first love and how I didn't feel important, and still seeing our faces in the baby she aborted. Dwelling on everything like a failure, the shit was...
Ooh. That's a rough one.
That's
a reason to go through some serious depression, for sure.
right.
But even backing up, just like, he thought this was like his set path, you know, like he had made the decision, nobody was able to talk him out of it, like, and that's how a lot of people that are truly suicidal feel, or even not suicidal, but extremely depressed to the point that they just, if I die, I die, and actually that would be kind of cool right now. So, yeah.
Still seeing our faces in the baby she aborted. Dwelling on everything like a failure, the shit was new to me. Walking through it alone even though I got people cool with me. Trying to kill the eggs by murdering who I used to be. Band-aiding wounds by covering them in jewelry. The most not myself I felt ever yet. After killing who I was, I never felt better. And it makes me sit and ponder, what goal was he reaching for? I know he had his, cause I got scars that y'all ain't see before. I wish I could have a call with that nigga, so I can ask what death is like and learn it all from that nigga. See if he's happy or off since he's away from the noise. I broke down and built up, but I can't feel this void. I feel hollow, and I make sure the ammo matches the feeling, in case I'm faced with an op instead of hanging from the ceiling.
I mean, it is 6, so
Fucking
throwing
bar.
in good bars. The ammo, hollow points. Yeah.
I actually think now this, not this, but a couple bars before, is a common thought I think everybody thinks about at some point in life, in terms of wishing you could get a hold of somebody that was dead just to see what it's like.
And if they're happier, I mean, I completely relate to the getting away from the noise part. Like, some people really think that when you pass along, it's a place of silence or quiet. Some people believe in heaven and hell. Of course, that would be one of the reasons that you would want to contact someone who is deceased, figure out what actually is the truth about when you pass on. But if it is a place of silence, whether that's good or bad, like, you would be getting away from all the noise and all the stress and the decisions, or having decisions taken away from you, or whatever it is that is really haunting you in life.
Well, I think one of the biggest things too, honestly, so many people wonder what is after death. Like,
right.
depending on which religion you follow, it can be a bunch of different things. But then then the scary thing is, at most, one of those religions is right. It may be yours. It may not be yours.
Right. Could be all of them.
None of them.
Right.
We could die. There could be nothing.
But here's the thing, like, if someone, say, I was able to contact someone who is deceased, would that person, because of their beliefs, tell me one thing, and I would live my whole life believing that to be truth, only to find out that for me, because I was not of the same beliefs, there was something completely else waiting for me?
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, collectively speaking, each different belief system for what happens after death would have to be able to contact someone who is deceased of the same belief. I mean, like, it would get just as complicated as real living. So there is that.
Right.
But again, the whole wearing jewelry to hide scars. And of course there are scars you haven't seen, because not only could there be scars from suicide attempts, whatnot, but there's always going to be the mental and emotional scars as well. So,
right.
I like how he's wording it, and, you know.
And I make sure the ammo matches the feeling, in case I'm faced with an op instead of hanging from the ceiling. In case I get popped, cause I'm dropping something with me. I ain't going by my hands, then I got my something with me. Made enemies out of friends, shut myself out from fans. Convinced that the ones that left us are the ones that understand. Side-eyeing the living, even those in my home. Surrounded by so much love, yet still feeling alone. Crumbling, fighting with feelings on shit that don't matter. Struggling to focus because shit just don't add up. Agony come and go, I create the thoughts that I'm facing, so why the fuck can I take it? Why the fuck am I shaking? This is life, ain't it? Physical and mental strain. We all want a better high, we just gotta find our strain. Pain is on the menu, huh? We don't get much Novocaine. Sometimes trying to hold shit up, leave you with them shoulder pains. Sometimes we can't show our...
Whew. That whole stretch there was fire. The searching for your type of strain, the we don't get much Novocaine for the pain we're in. I mean, shoulder strain, I like all of it.
I have a long thought. I don't know if I want to get into it yet.
Okay.
Again, I can relate to a lot of this in terms of, like, having people around you but still feeling alone.
Right.
Again, that's, as fucked up as it sounds, it's normal for depression.
Right.
And it sucks that a lot of us do go through that. Like, I don't know. You feel alone because, and it's weird because, you know, I talked earlier about you not wanting to burden other people with your problems. Who's to say they're not feeling the same way? And they don't want to burden other people with their problems. So we've got a bunch of people that are all depressed.
Self-isolating.
Don't want to bother anyone else.
And when you're isolating, you're not sharing any of the other parts of yourself as well. It becomes kind of a cycle, unfortunately. You, like, keep more and more and more to yourself, and then you get more and more and more depressed, but they start pulling away from you because
they're going through the same thing.
Or there's no connection anymore. Like, they don't know why you've pulled away, and therefore they're only gonna try so many times, you know, and then they think that you're just giving them the cold shoulder or something. So again, it becomes a cyclical problem. Yeah.
Don't get much Novocaine. Sometimes trying to hold shit up, leave you with them shoulder pains. Sometimes we can't show our pains. Sometimes we don't know we got them. Sometimes we just think we normal. Some just wished and then forgot them. Tightrope trying to find my balance, trying not to fall and perish. Wishing I could text the afterlife and see you read the message. Maybe he ain't have it right, or maybe I just ain't been through it enough. I should take my leave, or I ain't brave enough to do it. I know that I ain't alone in this feeling, but I still feel it. Time don't show us any mercy. We still need it for the healing. Maybe I should.
And we've touched on that. Like, so many of us were not alone in the struggle, but we definitely feel like we are.
Right.
And again, that definitely, I think, it comes a lot from that self-isolation that so many people with depression go through.
Right. Well, and there's also like I think it's a misperception a lot of us have, that because each person's journey is not exactly the same, that somebody else could not possibly understand the pain that we're going through. And the problem is that we're confusing understand with empathy. And that doesn't mean that someone who hasn't been in a similar situation couldn't empathize with us. And people who maybe haven't even been in a similar situation but that have depression couldn't sympathize with us. It doesn't mean that they don't understand why we feel the way we do. Maybe they don't understand that particular or that specific situation, but we confuse all of the words up in our minds, and we're like, no, because nobody else will get this. And it's like, no, they'll get enough, or they might. Or if you really think that it is such a unique situation, then maybe you need to go and search for professional help.
Seek a professional help.
Yeah, it was search, reach. My brain, wonderful, y'all.
But then we don't go to search for professional help because a lot of us, again,
right,
you haven't
They're
been
not
through
gonna get
this.
it. Right.
You're not going to understand. You may be able to think you can talk me through my struggles.
Right. But again...
But how are you going to be able to talk me through my own shit that I can't even talk to myself about?
But again, here's the thing, is a lot of psychologists actually do get into the profession because they've been through stuff that has caused depression, anxiety, something of that nature. Second of all, psychologists specifically are there to let you talk.
Right.
And that is the purging.
How does that make you feel?
Correct. That is the purging that we're talking about that does help you to get rid of some of this buildup.
Right.
And it's not that they need to necessarily offer a whole hell of a lot of suggestions. They aren't a psychiatrist. They're not there to give you meds for it to cover it up, but like it gives you a safe outlet, I guess, of somebody that isn't within your circle. You're not afraid of them like spreading the word around or whatnot, to just bounce your ideas off of, to just express what's going on. And now I'm not saying that that's like great for everybody, but again, It is that misunderstanding that they have to specifically know all about your situation. But that's not the kind of help that a psychologist is supposed to give you.
Right.
So.
I just ain't been through it enough. I should take my leave, or I ain't brave enough to do it. I know that I ain't alone in this feeling, but I still feel it. Time don't show us any mercy. We still need it for the healing. Maybe I should take the time. Maybe I should let it go. Just because I'm breaking now doesn't mean it's set in stone. Wish that I could bring them back. Wish that I could let them know. Once you really hit the bottom, only thing that's left is growth. The internal war really isn't bloody as you think. What you feel's your breaking point is the furthest thing from your brink. Loneliness from your dismay hides you showing you love. Give it a chance and life will show you tough. I had to go through the switch. Lose my mind and lose my heart to a bitch. Lose every fuck I had to give and stop harboring shit. And
Woo!
Ooh. I like that he has switched right at this point where he's like, maybe it was just that I didn't have the bravery to go through with it. maybe that is what it is. And I wish I could communicate with him so that I know that I made the right decision. But I also wish that I could tell him that at my lowest low, at complete rock bottom, where I had to absolutely give everything up, all my fucks, all my love, everything. Like, it showed me that I was tough and that I wanted to live, and that there were people that had my back this whole time, you know.
The thing I love about the structure of this song is from the beginning to about 2, 3, 4 bars ago. It was slowly going downhill mentally.
Yeah.
And you can see that gradual decline as the song progresses. And you can almost feel the moment in the song itself where he hit rock bottom.
Right.
And then something
it's
snapped.
Like this, yeah, it's a slope.
And it's like, and then he's like, then it's
then
the
I
fight
got
back.
Angry.
It's the fight back out. Like.
Then I got angry. Then I found the will to live. Then I found the ability to yell, scream, whatever you have to do, but, you know, to stop harboring this, to realize that I was being treated like shit. And, right. You know, yeah, I also liked that it was this chill, kind of more, it was definitely introspective, but like a chiller tone of voice that he's been using this whole time through. And, again, he just got angry.
Right.
Lose my mind and lose my heart to a bitch. Lose every fuck I had to give and stop harboring shit. And I was off of the shit. Boy, I was seeking a grave. But I know I got time left, so I'm seeking my pay. I just wish you were here, but I thank you for the lesson.
I like that. I know I got time left. I'm seeking my pay.
Right. As long as I'm here, I may as
time
well
is
get
money.
Yeah. But as long as I'm here, I may as well get paid too. You know? Give me what I deserve.
Right.
Left, so I'm seeking my pay. I just wish you were here, but I thank you for the lesson. I used to call your phone to hear your voice up in that message. Don't know if I got it or if this is the right direction, but someday you gonna answer my questions, nigga.
And there was that part that we talked about at the beginning that it could be that moment of just kind of being mad at mad at your homie for what he did.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like,
you're gonna answer me one day,
you will. Yeah.
My questions, nigga.
Drowning in underground.
That was really good.
I really like that. I feel like this was a combo. It was definitely, it was a tribute. It was a message to a close friend that has passed that you can't talk to anymore. It was kind of an explanation of what happened, but it's also that introspective, like, depressing, or speaking of depression track from 6 personally, but then it's his own anger that propelled him forward, and his own decisions on the path that he felt, you know, his life needed to take. But it is that little burst of anger. I mean, it's obviously the sentiment of, like, missing his friend, of longing for his friend, so on and so forth, having that person that he felt really truly understood him, but that there's that little pop of anger of, like, someday you're not going to get out of these questions,
right.
Sir.
Right. Yeah, at 6, that was fucking fire, dude.
That was an amazing track, and
definitely sparked up some conversation.
And for speaking about a subject where a lot of people bottle it up and don't feel like they can talk about just depression in general, this is a damn good example of why we should. Not just because of the conversation that it sparked up, but because of how incredible this track was.
Right.
So, if everybody had an outlet, creatively even, we could all understand each other a bit better, and we'd get some fantastic art out of it.
Yep. All right, guys. I guess that's going to do it.
Now that we're all mellow and introspective.
Right. If you guys like the video, slash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below what did you think of 6 Seconds with Etika. Also comment down below if there's anything else you guys want to see react to. Check the description below for all the things.
Push our buttons. Come join us on our other social media platforms, mostly Twitter if you want a quicker response.
And go stream the shit out of Never Know's best EP.
Because while we can't just yet, you can.
Yes. With that being said, we love you guys. Thank you all for watching. Eventually it'll switch over. There we go. Thank you all for watching, and we cannot wait to see you depraved people later.
Bye, guys.